Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about the Italian zombie movie parts 1 and 2, Zombie Abomination and Zombie Atrocity. The problem with I've got a couple issues with doing this movie. The first of which being, if you listen to the intro to this week's show, episode 200, yay! You heard me mention that I'm now officially working for Tom Berdinsky, the guy that made this film. So you might automatically think that I'm just going to, it's all fucking rainbows, ponies, and sunshine. Well, it is great for many reasons, but I do have a few legitimate problems with this film, and like anything else, I'm honest, and I'm going to tell you. Now, there's multiple versions of this film. I mean, you can get them separately. You can get the double DVD, the double feature, which I have, and I also now have the Grindhouse cut. Thanks to Tom. Thanks for sending me that, by the way. If you put the originals together, I think the runtime is just over 3 hours by 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Now, he took out almost an hour of footage and got it down to 2 for the Grindhouse edition. And, I mean, there was a lot of chapter headings and things that could have been taken out. This film, the other problem I have with doing this is everybody's already seen it. That's part of the problem. If I'd done this in 2009, you'd be like, whoa, what's this film you're talking about? But man, everybody and their mother has seen this film, and they should for good reason, especially if you're into zombie horror and Euro horror and Italian zombie films. You're going to, as long as you know what you're getting into, you'll probably really enjoy this film. What am I going to say? Am I going to tell you Bruno's story, start to finish? Well, no. There's the issue with this film that makes it also tough to review is there's so much going on, so many subplots and so many exchanges between people that's either funny, weird, awkward, or something taken from another film, which is okay to do in an homage like this, that it's really tough to link it all together. And I suspect Tom had the same problem, which is why he had to make a 3-hour, 2-part film. I don't blame him for that. There's a lot of content in this film. Now, let's see. What can I say? This is a no-budget film, which is part of why it's fantastic, as they had to do everything in this film the old-fashioned way. And it is a true send-up to a lot of... And see, that's the thing. I love old, awful Italian zombie films. I always have. And horror movies. I mean, for some reason, the video store I used to go to in Newark, California. Actually, I was raised in Fremont. Born in Oakland, raised in Fremont, like you need any of these details. But I got my movies next to the Payless store. It's some little mom and pop shop in Newark, California. And they had a metric shit ton of old European horror films. I don't know why. Maybe they got a discount. And I just went start to finish through those things. And loved especially the really bad ones. Really bad ones. Now, Mr. Berdinsky loved him too, which led him, I'm assuming, to make this film. It's the adventures, for the most part, of Bruno, played by Jeff Bromley. And his twin brother dies, and it's the story of him finding out what is going on, what happened to his brother, who his brother was, and maybe even in the end, who he is. It's everything just twisted in this film, but it's done fantastically so. Now, being the Italian zombie film, just about everybody's Italian in this film, whether they are or not, which makes it funny. And Tom is not afraid. And see, and I don't want to be stuck up with this. People like me that have just sat around on their asses and watched zombie movies for years and years and years and years and years will get it and probably appreciate this more. I've actually seen some bad reviews on this film by people that are like, oh, well, the actors aren't very good, and the video quality wasn't very good, and it just seemed kind of cheesy. Yeah, you know what? You didn't understand what you were watching, and you didn't watch it for the reason the rest of us did. So, if you're expecting Independence Day, you might be a bit let down. Just to let you know that right now. But like I said, I'm talking to you. You've already seen this. You probably even own it. And if you don't, you should. Again, I'm struggling with how to explain this. It's all about the antitoxin. The government was making antitoxin to immunize their soldiers against any possible thing, maybe minus radiation, that could affect them. That way they'd be the ultimate soldier. But of course, like every good zombie film, something happens, and this turns out to be the best zombie-making agent ever. Let's dispose of this haphazardly in a sense that'll spread it around and eventually come back to bite us in the ass. How funny would it be if Tom was making a serious zombie film that was 3 hours long, and this was supposed to be taken as a serious standalone on its own zombie film, and he realized, oh shit, somebody pointed out, hey man, all this shit happens in movies, and this is all cheesy, and people expect this, and this is sexist, and this is that, and this is ridiculous. And then he just said, oh no, it's he tried to suddenly sell it as an homage. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be fantastic. And now he has to live behind this lie of, well, yeah, it's an homage. That's what it is. No, he knows what he was doing. Now, the beauty of this, and I've never asked him, I'm really assuming he just recruited his friends to help make the film, because if you run down the last names, these are people that are related. So sometimes that's my gripe about films, is that people use their whole family, and a lot of their family shouldn't be anywhere near in front of the camera. That's not the case in this film. Everybody in this film seems very comfortable or uncomfortable because they're supposed to be. I mean, that's the beauty of how this was executed. It's not, I mean, you don't go, oh, that stunk. You go, that stunk, and I love it. I think it's easier for me to say that Tom took all the things I loved about European horror, and especially Italian zombie films, and put it in this film. But he also took everything I hate about Euro horror and Italian zombie films, and I go, fuck that. And he put it in the film and made me smile at it and go, yep, there it is. Nice. When you can make me celebrate something that I've disliked, you've won. You've won the battle, because now I'm in it. Now I'm excited. There is simply, and to be honest, there's simply too much going on in this film for me to explain every little piece, how everybody works together. Dr. Fulci, which is great, working on the antitoxin, hiding from the government, the psychic sister-in-law, the luchador head. Am I your brother? I'm your brother. Don't take my mask off. You'll find out I'm not. It's just... The Michigan Militia. Now, this is nerdy. I was so into the Michigan Militia song that I went and downloaded it. I'm like, I thought someday I'll be pleased when I'm cruising and it pops up on my iPod and I'm just fucking bopping back and forth to the Michigan Militia. I actually do have it. It's off the band's website. It's kind of embarrassing to say that. But what about Bruno? What about his brother? How did his brother die? What's with the really hot succubus? What's with Ruggiero being such an asshole? Headed off into the woods. What's with the fight with the feminist gas station attendant? And see, that's the fucking... Okay, oh my God, I think I figured it out. Holy shit. And Tom, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, and I hope I'm the first to coin the phrase in this way. You do realize you made the Blazing Saddles of zombie films, right? That's excellent. That's awesome. Every single trapping between asshole characters, funny characters, sexist characters, ridiculous characters, they all found a way to mesh perfectly in this film. I can't start to tell you the fucking story because it's a 3-hour movie, and other than just to say it's a story of zombie high adventure. I mean, I don't know. It's too rough to explain. I would be like the local perv that hangs out in the pop-up trailer. And see, and that's the thing. That's another reason why I like this film is my family had like the exact same pop-up trailer. We had a StarCraft one when I was growing up. StarCraft. That was a maker of camping equipment, not a fucking game. So you guys know? Yeah. And I would be the local perv living out there. But the beauty is the way these people work together, it's so ridiculous. The things they say to each other, it's silly. But it's entertaining. The things they do, the stupid shit they do in their... Just coming by to make sure all your doors and windows are unlocked. Zombies are coming. See you later. I mean, I can't really point out... I'm sorry. I fail. Again, I fail because I'm not going to be able to give you a proper review. Because one, if you haven't seen it, you fucking need to. Oops, did I say the F word? Oh, fuck me. I shouldn't be swearing. But... if you haven't seen it, you really need to. It's just that simple. I think most of you have. It's a great film. It's the best worst film ever. I'm not sure how he filmed it. I'm thinking it was just on like VHS, right? But that lends itself to its credit. This is a great film for many reasons. You're gonna hate it if you can't laugh at a horror film. If you've never been in that spot, you probably won't enjoy this film nearly as much as the rest of us. But I would say, as long as you're not expecting the best movie you've ever seen, even if you're not into zombie films, you'll get a laugh out of this film because it is funny. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Now that I've not told you how it goes or really explained the plot besides what Bruno has to do, here's where I'm going to give you two bad things about this film. And to be honest, I watched parts 1 and 2 by themselves full length a long time ago. And I recently, a couple days ago, watched the Grindhouse cut again. And I'd have to go back, compare to see exactly everything that was taken out. But my two gripes are, if you're going to do an homage to Euro horror and zombie films, I really think it's imperative, if you're really trying to do it, that you have topless women. I don't think topless women need to be in horror films. No, I don't. They don't need to be in trashy Euro horror. They don't. But the thing is, they always were. I would struggle to think of a 70s or 80s Euro movie that I watched that I really liked that didn't have unnecessary boobs in it. Part of the reason why it may not be here is because, you know what, if you put nudity in a film, it's tougher to sell, especially nowadays. And I can understand that from a business perspective. Or I can also understand that if you're recruiting your friends to be in the film, it's kind of hard to say, hey, you girls need to take your tops off. That would be really awkward. Though I will say, this might be weird, and Tom might make me watch a sexual harassment video on this next time I come to his town. But I wouldn't mind seeing just about every woman in this film topless. I can say that from a reviewer standpoint, even though technically in a weird way I'm associated with the company. I would have been cool. Boobs would have been great in this film. But I understand it probably could not be for many reasons. My second gripe about this film is I really feel that even though it's in English, what would have made me laugh even harder would have been forced subtitles, hard-coded subs the whole way through this thing, just for the fuck of it. Because I used to watch so many where I'm like, God damn, that thing popping up is really getting on my nerves. So, I don't know. If you've ever had to watch hard-coded subs, it's pretty funny. Those are my two gripes. And maybe I would also add that there is too much content in these films. But there was a lot Tom wanted to say, a lot of things he wanted to applaud and put in his movie. And I, in a weird way, I totally respect that. But it was a bit much to take, which is why it was in two versions and now in a 1 hour, or sorry, 2 hour cut for Grindhouse. Those would be my only complaints about this film. I loved every other bit of it. I really did. So I tried to get some of my friends to watch it, and some are into it, but some are like, what the fuck? I'm like, you don't even like zombie. Get out of my house. You like zombie movies. Come back when you've seen some zombie movies, for Christ's sakes. So on the Bradinsky rating scale, coincidentally applied to his own movie. Honestly, I would rate this movie a borrow for everybody, a buy for anyone like myself who loves Euro horror and old Italian zombie films. Definitely a buy. It's just fucking funny, you know. So please support Tom, support the cast, support the other films. But this film is beautiful. And sorry I didn't tell you much about the movie, but there's so fucking, oh my God, there's spaceships, there's the Michigan militia, there's robots, you name it. There's everything in this fucking film. And let's have a special shout out to the cellular tower repair people of Michigan. I don't know. God damn. You know, I have to wonder if Tom didn't start writing at least the concept for this film after a night of partying. You know what I mean? Where you've had a bit to drink and you're starting to sober up, but you're like, yeah, this would be great. You know what we should do? Tom, did this start out with a conversation going, you know what we should do? I bet it did. Anyway. Get the film. Jesus Christ. It's on Amazon. Buy it. Buy it off the website, ItalianZombieMovie.com, I believe. Google it. You'll find it is worth your time. And that's the sad thing about doing it in 2013. I'm adding nothing to this film. Everybody, for the most part, thinks it's great. And it won a lot of awards, and it should have. And I don't know, and it probably pissed off a lot of people that put a lot of work and a lot of effort into a shiny movie that had zero content or anything exciting or new that didn't win, you know? And then fucking Tom rolls up, he's like, hey, hops out in his Sasquatch costume and starts passing this movie out that people absolutely embraced. So, for a good reason. Sadly, I'm looking at, I got IMDb up at the moment. It's getting a 4.3 star out of 10? Fucking what's wrong with you people? And how many users? Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, part 1 is getting a 4.3 star rating out of 10 from 30 people. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're wrong. It's more than that. But I guess if you're basing it on just, if this is your first zombie movie, you'd probably be annoyed by it. Don't let it be your first, but make sure you do see it. All right,